before we have our Pledge of Allegiance, we'll have our invocation. Please stand.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this season of the year celebrating the birth of your Son. We thank you, too, for our answered prayers. Tonight we seek guidance in making choices that will strengthen our city, promote progress, and reflect integrity and fairness. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As you all notice, this is not our normal meeting room, but City Hall has transformed into a winter wonderland, so please come by Thursday night for our third annual holiday open house. Ms. Webb, will you call roll, please?
Pro Tem Bobo.
Present.
Councilman Washington.
Here.
Councilman Wiggins.
Here.
Councilwoman Dykes. Here. President Hogg.
Here. Item 5 is presentations. We have none. Item 6 is approval of the agenda. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve the agenda as printed?
President Hogg, I'd like to make a request, please.
Absolutely.
I'd like to request that we make a change to the agenda, adding item number 9B10 under resolutions of temporary nature. My request is that the council vote on a resolution to rescind the previous resolution passed on June 5th, 2023 that authorized the exclusive dealings agreement with Beaker Property Group. By law, the due diligence period has expired, and I propose this resolution for a clear and absolute termination of the due diligence period, as well as for city staff to gather information and options of getting the building repaired for city use, and to explore agency partnerships to temporarily administer senior meals from the existing structure with no additional outside development at this time.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right, so I believe legal also needs us to have a resolution after the legal department's presentation as well this evening. Correct. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So with that, Ms. Bobo, with hearing legal department needing a resolution after legal department's presentation, is that a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of 9B10 as stated by you, and also with the recommendation of a resolution after legal department's presentation?
Yes, so moved.
Okay.
Second.
That's a motion by Councilwoman Bobo, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm voting on. But yeah.
Do you need some clarity, Ms. Dykes?
Yeah, I would like some clarity. That was a little bit long, and I have no idea what she's talking about.
I believe what she just said with my notes and what I got here was that the due diligence period with Beaker Property Group has ended, and she wants to rescind the RFP proposal to make sure that that is a clarity of a cut date, and to proceed further with having staff, I believe, look at different options with city use and not development on that piece of property any longer.
Well, the vote was just on the agenda, though.
Yeah, for that to be on the agenda, correct. For that to be as 9B10 to be voted on, but that to be placed on the agenda. And then also, legal has asked for a resolution after the legal department's presentation this evening, that Mr. Davis will go further into that with his presentation. So that moved us to a vote of council. We have a confirmed vote by Pro Tem Bobo, Councilman Washington, Councilman Wiggins, and we have a I guess so by Councilwoman Dykes. Do you want to change that to a yes?
Mr. Hogg. That would be a yes.
Okay. Then that's what you need to say. And yes for me. Item 7 is visitors to address the council. We have none. Item 8 is unfinished business. 8A1 is the second reading of an ordinance adopting the 2024 general fund capital budget. Mr. McGee.
Yes, Mr. President, this is the capital budget. It was approved by the Finance Committee. Just over $2.4 million for the general fund. Water and sewer fund, if need to be addressed at a later time. Covers our gas tax, which is budgeted at about $750,000 in revenues, and we're looking to expend that, and about $160,000 out of opioid funds that we collected from opioid settlements. So we'd ask that you consider this for approval tonight.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Bowe, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 9B1 is a resolution amending the vacation accrual policy. Mr. Redding?
Yes, Mr. President, this is an admin committee recommendation that changes the vacation accrual policy, increasing the accrual hours for employees and shortening the time required to max out on the accrual rate that will match the employee's pay plan.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Bowe, second by Councilman Wiggins. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
voting with Pro Tem Bobo,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 9B2 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to bind insurance coverage for the city of Northport. Ms. Webb?
Yes, sir, this is our annual renewal of insurance, and there's a slight premium increase this year. However, it's within budget, and it is due to increased coverage of additional vehicles and facilities.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
by Councilman Washington, second by Councilman Wiggins. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 9B3 is a resolution to enter into an agreement for First Responders Benefit Program. Mr. Redding?
Yes, this will authorize the city to fulfill its obligation to provide firefighter cancer and disability insurance. It also, this year, will expand the coverage through an enhanced policy with no budgetary impact.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wiggins. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
voting with Pro Tem Bobo,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 9B4 is a resolution authorizing a renewal of waste disposal service agreement. Mr. Davis?
Yes, Mr. President, this is for a 10-year renewal for our agreement with Black Warrior Solid Waste Disposal Authority. As you know, we're one of the three owners, along with the city of Tuscaloosa and Tuscaloosa County. The contract must be pretty good. It's been the same since 1994. We'd recommend passage.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt the resolution authorizing the mayor to renew the waste disposal service agreement with Black Warrior Solid Waste Disposal Authority?
So moved.
Second.
That is a motion by Councilwoman Bobo, second by Councilman Wiggins. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
voting with Pro Tem Bobo,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 9B5 is a resolution authorizing water service outside of the city limits for property located at 15145 Betha Barber Road. Mr. Davis?
Yes, Mr. President, this is ready for action by the council. It's approved, it's recommended by the staff, and it meets all the criteria.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt the resolution authorizing water service outside the city limits to be provided for property located at 15145 Betha Barbara Road pursuant to the conditions in the resolution?
So moved. Second.
So motion by Councilman Wiggins, second by Councilman Washington. Motion by Councilman Wiggins, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
voting with Pro Tem Bobo,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 9B6 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to select and negotiate scope and fee with the Cassidy Company for the storm sewer rehabilitation.
As y'all recall, we did a study of did assessment of our storm sewer. We actually enabled us to apply for a grant. We received that grant. As part of the dollars, we're required to do an RFQ for professional services. We, as a result of the RFQ, staff graded, and Cassidy Company was the winner of that RFQ. So we're requesting to negotiate in scope and fee for the first project that comes from that stormwater assessment.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Wiggins, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
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 Yes. 9B7 is a resolution amending the resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute a proposal with TTL Incorporated for professional design services on Fifth Street resurfacing and pedestrian improvements. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, you have recently approved the proposal for TTL. This is an MPO project. The state has required us to put it on their proposal form, which modifies the numbers slightly. So we are amending their proposal to match those numbers.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Bobo, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
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 Yes. 9B8 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute a grant agreement with TTL Incorporated for construction materials, testing, and special inspections for the Public Works Building addition. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, for the new Public Works building, they're starting construction, and we are required to do testing, construction testing during that process. So we're requesting for TTL to do those services.
Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Washington, second by Councilman Wiggins. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
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 Yes. 9B9 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute a grant agreement with the Alabama Department of Environmental Management for American Rescue Plan Act funds for the Highway 82 pump station project. Ms. Tubbs.
This may be the hardest decision you make tonight, accepting $3.5 million in grant dollars.
I don't think that'll be a problem. But we're gonna vote on it just to see. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt the resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute a grant agreement with the Alabama Department of Environmental Management for the American Rescue Plan funds for the Highway 82 pump station project in the amount of $3,554,983?
So move.
Second.
That's a motion by Councilman Washington, second by Councilman Wiggins.
Thank you.
Any questions
I
or
think that
comments?
puts Savannah
job.
over $5 million at this point.
All right, hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, 9B10 is asked to be put on the agenda. Let me make sure I have this right. So I have this as a resolution for rescinding the RFP of Beaker Property Group from June,
5th.
and just for making sure that there is clarity that that has ended, and you were asking that the city no longer look at any development at this point, and to get with staff to move forward with other city
Making repairs
uses.
to the building for city to use it.
Okay. So that's the agenda item there, 9B10.
Miracle on Park Street.
And do I have a member of council that would like to move to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Bobo. That is a second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
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 Yes. 9C is a consent agenda. This ranges from minutes, bill listings, and PO requisitions. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve the consent agenda as printed?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Bobo, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item 10 is reports of special committees of council. If there's anybody that has a report from their respective committee. Item 11 is public hearings. We do have one tonight, which is from our police department. This is for JPAN Farms Incorporated. It's for an ABC license. Chief Burton.
Yes, sir. This is located at 4300 Highway 43 North, Ingram Farms, and there were no issues with the allocation.
Okay. And this is a public hearing agenda item, so I'm going to open the floor for the public hearing. If there's a member here in the audience that would like to come speak for or against this agenda item, please come forward. State your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I'm going to close the floor for the public hearing. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve the ABC license for JPAN Farms Incorporated?
So move.
Second.
That's a motion by Councilman Washington, second by Councilman Wiggins. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo?
Yes.
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 Yes. Item 12 is city administrator's business. Ms. Webb?
The only item I have tonight is to remind everyone of our holiday open house this Thursday, December 14th at City Hall. Public entrance begins at 5 p.m. and lasts until 8 p.m. We'll hope you'll come out and enjoy all the festivities. Again, it's a free family-friendly event, so we'll be having multiple things that can be enjoyed by your family: train rides, Grinch golf, free concessions, and then things of that sort. So we invite you out. And then I do have one other item that I neglected to bring to your attention. We have not set our dates, or we had previously set our dates for January council meetings, and I'm asking that we reschedule given the college football playoff.
So you're going on record right now to say that Alabama beats Michigan. Is that what you're saying?
Facts.
That is our hope. So we want, this is our last meeting before the opportunity to beat Michigan. So I'd like to address and suggest that we have our council meetings on January the 11th and January 23rd. January 11th is a Thursday, and I'm requesting that our council committee meetings begin at noon on that Thursday, and then January 23rd would be a Tuesday.
Okay.
So January 11th, all council committees and council, January 23rd for the second meeting of the month.
Okay. Both council meetings starting at 5:30.
Correct.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve changing the scheduled January meetings to January 11th on a Thursday and January 23rd on that Tuesday, with knowing that the committee meetings will be held on the January 11th date, starting at noon?
So moved.
Second.
So motion by Councilwoman Bobo, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo.
Roll Tide.
Yes.
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 Then
I'm-
they reflect,
That would be a yes.
yes.
Yes, I'm gonna, a little clarification there, but yes. And I will echo that, roll tide. Item 13 is departmental business. 13A is Northport First Funds Annual Report of Expenditures. Mr. McGee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will try to keep this relatively brief. It's a lot of numbers, but I do want to give you an update as is required by code. We'll look back first on the 2023 numbers. Collections from Northport First was just over $7.6 million in 2023.
Can you say that again?
$7.6 million. It's quite a lot. And it was,
You remember what we estimated that just a few years ago?
it's $5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was year one, and we actually came over that the first year also, but it's grown significantly. That's attributable to the growth of the city. Of that, 3.4 has been spent today, quite a bit remaining. That's not unusual. All funds for 2023 have been allocated to a variety of projects, as they always are. I will say that of those allocations, the three buckets, enjoy, economic and community enhancement, and responsible, 32.7% went to enjoy, 35.8 to economic and community enhancement, and 31.5 to responsible. So a fairly even distribution between the three areas that council wanted to use these funds for. And these are allocations, I'm referring to allocations.
Right.
So let me speak to date. To date, that's 4 full fiscal years. There's been just over $27 million collected for Northport First Funds. $20.7 million has been spent to date, about just under $6.4 million remaining to be spent. But again, all is allocated and has proper projects for it to go toward, all approved by council. This is just kind of a general combination of very broad areas, not specifically related to the buckets, that give you a little idea of where these funds have been spent. Spent $3 million toward paving over that period of time. What I call property acquisition and improvements, a lot of recreational projects, $7.7 million. So those are a variety of facilities, properties purchased, properties improved within the city of Northport. We put over $4.3 million toward required reserves. So those are not, I'd like to stress it, that is not expenditures, that is placing in required reserves for future needs. So street and infrastructure projects, a variety of things, from repairs needed, from streetscape and whatnot, $8.6 million towards streets on top of paving. And finally, over $1.4 million toward City of Northport schools. So that does not encompass all of the funds, that's the majority of it, and those are kind of the big areas. So a lot of numbers, but it's been very successful, accomplished a lot of things, did a lot of needed repairs, and able to take on some capital projects that we needed, and it continues to grow. It's grown every year, so.
And it's been very transparent, as not going back into the general fund, that it's used for these specific
It is not used
purposes.
for day-to-day operations. It has been used for projects, and anything that it is spent on is brought before finance and council, so everyone has a chance to review and have their say also.
Absolutely.
No questions, that's all I've got.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. Item 13B is from our legal department regarding Kentuck. Mr. Davis. You feel right at home in the courtroom, don't you?
Well, I'm glad y'all let me so much time, so I've got a lot to say. I'm gonna speak to Kentuck, and I'm gonna speak to the citizens of Norfolk. I've been speaking to y'all all week, and y'all are tired of me, I know. There's been a lot written about this, there's been a lot said, a lot was accurate, a lot was not accurate. I'm gonna try to set the record straight, at least from my perspective. Now, I have documents, I'm gonna back up what I'm saying,
Ron, you might want to get it's hard to hear back here behind you, so.
all right? Just I'll speak very loudly. I have documents. Some to the press, will be sent to the press, they'll be on the Northport website in the morning. Go look, read, please, okay? Now, we put Kentuck on the agenda Wednesday, Thursday, the packet went out. I have not heard anything. I was asked that. I've not heard anything. Now, told Kentuck is that I would work with the staff and see what I could do, and I would work with these people who can vote. I keep voting, and that's what I've done all last week. And I put a proposal out there on Thursday, said if I don't hear anything back on Friday, I'll assume it's okay. So there's no changes in what I sent you guys. But when you do a story, the headline's what matters. And I've come up with a few. Usually the editors do it. Now with media, they'll do it themselves. One is, does Kentuck want a divorce? Northport does not. Another one, Northport can't make Kentuck stay in Northport. But don't blame us if you want to leave. Here's a third one. Is Kentuck being kidnapped by a Tuscaloosa director and by Tuscaloosa Board of Directors. Has Kentucky outgrown Northport's roots? One I like is, why don't we just work together to solve this problem? Kentucky is amazing. I'm like Nick Saban. When I get excited, if I got a football game, sometimes if I had a swear jar, it would be expensive. So Kim's gonna keep up. And if I use a swear word, I'm gonna give $20 to Toys for Tots and $20 to Kentucky. So this may be an expensive night for me. Okay? Kentucky started 52 years ago. It's named after Northport. We were Kentuck. Then we were Kentuck. Then we were Northport. Kentuck was born in Northport. It was raised in Northport. It was nurtured in Northport. When I went to law school back in the dark ages, the new dean came from New Mexico. One of the first teacher I ever had was Jack Clark. We called him Cactus Jack Clark because he had those bolo ties from New Mexico, those western ties. His wife was Georgine Clark. The Tuscaloosa News, Mark Hughes Cobbs wrote an article that warmed my heart. It's in this package. It'll be on our website tomorrow about Georgine Clark. When she died, she said she's Kentuck's magician, its mother, from 20 artists on Main Avenue in 1971. Thank you, sir. Okay, since 1971, this is for the media, so I'll just keep yelling, okay? It evolved, this is when Georgine Clark was here. It evolved to a festival drawing 30,000 visitors each week in October, and then grew to a year-round art center. Jan Pruitt said she's like a mother to all of us. This place wouldn't be here if it weren't for Georgine. Another person, she had a vision. She was a mother figure. Brady Nutt, who's in Nashville, said he talked about growing the Kentucky Center in downtown Northport. It was a bunch of junk, and look what she turned it into. Here's my favorite quote. Clark butted heads with the board then President Amy Eccles. Eccles thought Kentucky couldn't afford $10,000 to house guest artists. Quote, and this is Amy Eccles speaking. After the cat fight was over, we realized we were fighting for the same thing. Well, I can tell you one thing. Amy Eccles would not be trying to move Kentucky to Tuscaloosa if Georgine Clark were alive today. Georgine Clark is rolling around in her grave. She was all about Northport. Now, Amy Eccles is a friend of mine, and she does a good job. She works very hard for Kentucky. A lot of the board members are friends of mine, and they work very hard. It's continued to grow. It went from a 2-day festival to now a year-round project. They should be complimented for that. It's a lot of time and money. But last October, this year, 2023, we had a very successful festival in Northport. They've told me that, I've heard that, and we had to deal with a pile of dirt. But they've made it work. And it was a very good success and a successful festival. And now all of a sudden they want to move to Tuscaloosa. Why? I think they want to move, but it's not because of these people right here. Now, keep this in mind. It worked this October. The pile of dirt was there. It worked. The festival site had not changed one bit. Okay? Now, these people are trying to do something good for Northport. We're trying to do a sports complex. We bought 40 acres of land from Friends of Historic Northport. We worked with them west of the Kentucky site. We're going to put in, if you'll pull up, Scott, the drawing. I can't do a PowerPoint for the people at home, so that's why I got this stack of stuff you can look at. But those here, you can see it. Now see the On the left side, there are 9 baseball fields. Those are tournament grade, artificial turf, baseball, softball fields for travel ball. Got $25 million going into that site of taxpayer money, okay? That's phase 1. Also, you can't really see it, but around there, there's a bunch of parking. It's paid parking. And guess what? We don't have portalettes, we're gonna have actual restrooms where women can go to the best bathroom without being grossed out. And me too, I don't like them either, okay? Now, see the green halo over to the right? That's the new Kentuck or Black Warrior existing baseball field, completely redone with 6 brand new fields, okay? Now, just to the left of the Kentuck or Warrior is where the Kentuck Festival's held, okay? If you can go to the enlargement a little bit, this will help you see it a little bit better. To the right, that's the existing Kentuck site. Now, if you've been out there, we don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields. We got a few, and they're not in real good shape. This group wants to do it all over again. Now look back below there. You got parking, paid parking, not parking in a pasture. We got paid parking. Look way to the left. There's a water treatment plant right there. That's part of the tournament fields. What do you have there? Paid parking. What else do you have? The little brown thing, that's an indoor activity building. You've got pickleball, you've got tennis, but you've got lights, you have amenities. You don't have woods. Thank you, friends. We're gonna work together and make this something everyone in Northport can be proud of. Now, if you see the Kentucky spot, and there's a white, you just can't see it. And when you get on this, you can. And if you get on Northport Facebook page, you can. I'll show you how to get to there in a minute. But you can see what we're talking about. Kentuck is on this map. Look at my 4 fingers. We got November 1st, November 15th, November 30th, and we got tonight. Okay? November 1st, November 15th, November 30th, and tonight. On November 1st, not really, but early in November, this was passed by this council before this Northport, Kentucky stuff mattered. This is the master plan for that. It includes Kentucky. It includes the same exact site for Kentucky. It's been on our website since November the 6th. You can go look at it tomorrow. Don't look at it tonight, don't y'all listen to me. Okay? Let me grade Kentucky. Kentucky this week, this October, they get an A for their program. It's great. I'm gonna give them a C for parking because you gotta take the bus, you gotta, go through the pasture. I'm gonna give them a D- for restrooms. I'm sorry, those portalettes are nasty. Okay? If they will stay with us for 5 years, guess what they'll get? They'll have all that parking, they'll have an A, they'll do a great job on the festival, but then they'll have an A on parking. They'll have paid parking, lighted parking, close parking, and they'll get an A on restrooms. Let's hear it for the actual live restrooms, okay? And from this point forward, I've been talking to the engineers, they said something today, I thought this makes sense. There will never be less parking for Kentucky in the future than there was in October, and they did just fine. Now, I gave them $1,000 this year out of Ron Davis money, not Northport money, and I also gave them $600 or whatever it was for the VIP, the highest level. Well, I didn't try to park on the site. My wife and I parked in Barksmart, and we walked down, it was fine. You know why? There's a pile of dirt there, and it's just driven them crazy. You know what that is? This woman right here, here it goes, save the city, save y'all if you live in Northport, $1.6 million. We need land to build those new tournament fields. We need dirt. Dirt's expensive. She got to deal with City, Tuscaloosa, and Tickery. And that's Wright's Ferry Road dirt. So give her, what did she get, 2.3 million? 3.5. 3.5, excuse me. Million here, million there. $1.6 million. Now, weigh this out. Here's $1.6 million that the Northport can say that we can get that dirt now and save that much money versus a 2-day festival. That's pretty simple. And what we do, we cleaned it up, what the problem, and then next year, let's talk about the dirt. It's gonna be stabilized, covered in mesh and seeded. Not gonna be a problem. We're gonna probably finish getting it. It's gonna go higher, but it isn't gonna get any bigger. The same footprint is what they're gonna get. So we can work around Kentuck. We can make Kentuck happen if they want to stay. But I can't hold a gun to their head and make them stay. Now, we sent them a contract, 10 pages, a lot of bullshit in it, excuse me. That's $20, $40 right there. Sorry, you don't have to keep up. All right, a lot of lawyer stuff in it. They didn't like it. They sent 10 pages back, it was red and bleeding. Okay? And I talked to their lawyer. His name is Marlon Hayes. And I like him. He shoots straight with me, I shoot straight with him. I said, Marlon, this is ridiculous. Let's sit down and work this out. He said, that's a great idea. I said, I can't believe it. So he's the lawyer for Kentuck, I'm the lawyer for the city. He said, I'll get the president to come meet with us. And we met the following week. Bobby Bragg, who is the president of the board, chairman of the board, president, whatever he is, he's the head guy. He came over and met with Marlon Hayes, Chris Cunningham, and myself, and we sat down. And quite frankly, Bobby was pretty hot, okay? He wanted me to give him answers right then. Well, I said, I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. I don't vote. I might have a job after tonight if I keep cussing. But I can't do it. I said, well, here's what I can do. I can meet with the staff and find out your engineering answers, and I can meet with these people here who can make a decision. And I said, I will let you know. Bobby, I'll talk to you and I'll talk to Marlon. He said, no, don't talk to me. Take everything through our attorney, okay? Now, I didn't realize, I told him that I'm handcuffed, just like this. Because these people can't just meet and not tell anybody or do this. Now, I can meet with them, but they can't meet among themselves. It's called Open Meetings Act. So I'm handcuffed by Alabama law. But I can talk to them one-on-one or two-on-two. Okay? But then Bobby Bragg's handcuffed me again. I didn't realize how bad he handcuffed me, but he did. He said, no, don't call me. Go through our attorney. That's not unusual, except for one thing. Marlon Hayes, I can say nothing bad about Marlon Hayes, but they kept him with a blindfold on and on a short leash. So they cut off my communications. I can't talk to Andy Eccles, who's my friend, who's the director. I can't talk to Bobby, who's the director. I can't talk to my friends on the board. I can't talk to Nene. I'm about to go to jail. I said hello to her tonight. Because a lawyer can't talk to somebody else that's represented by an attorney. So they effectively cut off my communication with the board. So I called the lawyer. And I said, hey, when Chris and I got through meeting, we went down Tara. I told him, I can't get much this week because Tara and Glenda were both out of the office on city business in 2 different areas. And so, but I go down and we talk to Brad Matthews, who's an attorney, an engineer. He goes through and explains all this to me. He said, yeah, it's not a problem. He says, we're going to be, the construction, when we start it, is going to be on that left side where all the tournament fields are. Look at the water treatment. Look how far away that is from Kentuck. He says, we're not going to touch a tree on Kentuck side. I said, well, what about the mound of dirt? He said, not getting any bigger, it'll get a little higher, but we'll be finished with that pretty soon. So, what do I do? Again, remember, November 1st, November 15th, November 30th, tonight. This is November 15th, when I'm meeting with Bobby Bragg and Marlon Hayes and Chris Cunningham. So the middle, now, okay? I meet with them. I try to call Marlon that night. I miss him. play tag the rest of the day. So the next day, on November the 16th, they know one thing. They can have the exact same footprint. And that's what Bobby told me. I gotta know the footprint. We got all these tents, but it was 10 yards and you messed us up. So I told them they're not getting messed up. They're gonna be in the same exact footprint. That's one day after my meeting with them. That'd be November the 16th. They know another thing. That mound's not getting any bigger. It's getting taller, but it's not gonna mess anything up. They worked around it this year, they worked around it next year. So one day after that meeting, before I talked to any of these folks, before I even talked to Linda and Tara, they had their answer. Okay? So 2 or 3 days later, I called Marlon up and I said, hey, what happened at the board meeting? And he goes, I don't know. I said, y'all come over and I'll show you. But Brad Matthews pulled it up so you could see, even an idiot like me could see. I said, y'all come over, let me look. He said, well, I got to get permission first to come over. Well, I should have known something was up because Bobby didn't show back up. He didn't show back up. So I should have smelled a rat then. Okay? But then when I asked him what happened to the board meeting, he didn't go. They didn't let him come because they won't pay him to come. Okay? So I don't know what Bobby told the board. I wasn't there. It's a private meeting. I don't know. They can't do that. The Kentucky board can't. But anyway, I just kept doing what I promised Bobby I would do. Now, Bobby never said, no, don't do that. We're leaving. I told him, I'll get you the answer by tonight. It's the first time I can do it. They can't do anything unless they're out here in the open and they vote. Sometimes they vote, sometimes they disagree, but they vote. I don't vote because he wanted more money than what we give. And I said, I can't do that. I can give you $1,000 a bid, but they don't count that. But anyway, but I thought we had an agreement to let me try, and I would get them the answer tonight. So that's what I did. I have busted my rear end. That one don't count. Okay. So what did I do? That's the middle of November. All right. End of November, I'm out of the office. All of a sudden, bam, my phone blows up. They have issued a press release. They have thrown these people under a bus. Oh, you know what broke loose? Almost cost me another $20. Okay. And I thought, this is like November the 3rd. They can't wait 10 days. I promised them I would give them an answer by the night. This is the 11th. Maybe they couldn't wait 11 days. Now, let me tell you something. If they have not been planning to leave, they can wait 10 days. If they tell you they've come up with a new spot in 10 days, they've been looking at it a long time. Now, first thing they do is they issue a press release. Now, I got a copy of that. Now, we did not hack their server. They don't have a leak. Okay? What they got is Tara Tubbs' name on their mailing list, but she used to be on their site. All right? Email number 1 is the 29th. Again, remember, I met with Bobby on the 11th. I said, wait till tonight. This is right here, end of November. And listen to all this mess. The Kentucky Member Board of Directors instructed the organizational staff to begin the process of finding a new home for upcoming festivals. Now, it implies it was unanimous. Now, I don't think it was. We can ask them. Y'all can. I can't. Y'all can. I don't think so. Said city officials have been unresponsive. It is regrettable that a few city leaders have put us into that position. That is disingenuous. How's a good word for not telling the truth? The city moved to change the terms of the agreement. We did. We went from 1 year to 5. That man right there wanted to do 5. You know why? To give them some comfort. We want to work through this change together with you. We didn't want them to go year to year. We tried. We thought that was a good thing. They took it and turned that, what we thought was a good thing, and stabbed us in the back with it. Northport was unwilling to guarantee we would continue to hold the festival at Kentucky Park. The contract we sent over to them said in Northport. Well, where else are you going to hold it? You're going to hold it in City Hall? The City Hall parking lot? You're going to hold it at Williams Cemetery? No. You're You go hold it in Kentucky Park. They didn't ask. They just tried to take everything and twist it to meet their narrative. They said there's no certainty on where the future festival will be held. And when I talked to Bobby, I will say this. I said, look, I'm not an engineer. Let me go find out. Because things are flexible. I said, I know when you Costco like it, then we got to talk. But as far as I know, it's not going to move. The site's going to be there. And I found out pretty quick. Told them the next day. But anyway, and it didn't, then the handkerchiefs come out. We are not happy about the idea of having to move the festival. I talked about our employees, public works. They are like family to us. It's unfortunate we have been forced in this position. I think they used the word forced 3 times. Okay? Then they sent Tara another email. This is my favorite. Okay? This is on Friday, December 1st. Sits right here in the November, December 1st. And I'm not even getting into the fact that said Bobby's definitely the prettiest single girl at the party now, and all this stuff. They can answer that. I've had people ask me what that meant. But here's what it said. No, when I'm coming out as a new single girl at the dance, I don't know. That's okay. I don't care. Whatever they want to do is fine with me. But this is what got me. Is Monday night, our communications consultant. So Kentucky has hired a communications consultant. We don't have one. Y'all just stuck with me. Okay? Created a press release. I already read you that, and that's just full of hooey. Okay? Separate talking points and a media strategy. Now, if you're telling the truth and you really want to work with these people instead of throwing them under a bus, why do you need to pay a media consultant, have a press release, give them separate talking points, and have a media strategy? And the answer is we had to act immediately or lose control of the narrative. Well, what is that? I can't say the word I'm thinking. It'll cost me $40. Okay? And they talk about all the people going trustful, Bay Minette, Sloth Furnace, all this stuff. Sure, Kentucky's great. They have turned it into something great. But then she says this, just know that Tuscaloosa is not the only place that we would be welcome to land. So that tells me they already know that they can land in Tuscaloosa. Northport motivating us to move may be the best thing that's happened to Kentucky so far. Maybe the most painful too. Well, I got another word for them being pained and forced and all this stuff. It is not true. It is not true. Before their press release, I said, we got a communications problem. Everybody's fussing. I said, I'll be glad to meet with the board. Before all this happened, I asked Carl Wiggins, I said, would you come work with me with the Kentucky board? He said, yeah. But then all of a sudden, bam, I get shot in the back with their press release. Now, none of this makes any sense if you're trying to stay in Northport, does it? Here's what the real problem is. Now, I got friends in Tuscaloosa. I've been in Northport for 30 years, representing Northport. I got friends over there. I got friends in Northport. We got Northport people on the board. They're my friends, still are. And we got people that used to work at Tuscaloosa come over here. So no secrets. I mean, there are no secrets. Okay? In 2019, the city of Tuscaloosa purchased the Tuscaloosa News Building. Amy Eccles, from that day forward, has been trying to move Kentucky to Tuscaloosa. 2019. That's before this group even came into office. That's before COVID. And every year since, they've been talking about, we're going to move. We're going to move. Let's talk about divorce again. If your spouse wants to divorce you, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If they're determined to go to Tuscaloosa, there's nothing we can do. Now, don't blame Tuscaloosa. I've heard for years, hey, they're approaching us, we're not approaching them. We've heard 2 weeks ago, hey, we didn't ask Kentucky to come over here, they approached us. So don't blame City of Tuscaloosa, but don't blame Northport either. That's what they're trying to do. If moving's so painful for them, don't move. It's real easy. Look about the amphitheater. We didn't spend a penny on that. It's great for Northport. It's great for Tuscaloosa. Kentucky. Tuscaloosa hasn't spent a penny on that. We got a free space to go. We spent $75,000, $77,000 this year in in-kind services, doing free stuff for them. Plus we gave them $75,000 or $80,000, depending on how you count the $5,000, $75,000 to $80,000 in money. It's a good deal. But if they want to leave you, you can't make them stay. But, you know, Kentucky helps Northport. It helps Tuscaloosa. Kentucky is Northport. But it's good for Tuscaloosa. Amphitheater's Tuscaloosa. It's good for Northport. We need to work together. Now, I told Bobby Bragg I would get him answers to what he wanted. And that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping my word tonight. I've sent them a resolution, and I have sent them a proposed agreement. Linda's already signed it. That signature is no good unless at least 3 of these 5 people, and I hope all 5 of them will vote, pass it. What does it do? It gives them the same exact footprint that they had this year. Not 1 inch different. If they did it this year, they can do the same thing next year. Exactly. The only thing we can't control is the weather. And they do a pretty good job of that. It hadn't rained many times. But they can have that same exact footprint. The $1.6 million of dirt, it'll still be there. But it won't be any bigger. A little taller, but it'll be covered up. It won't be any dust. It won't be any erosion. It won't be a problem. It won't be as bad as it was this year. So that's even better. In-kind support, $77,000. Bobby Bragg bragged on us on what our employees did. We'll do the same, we'll do better. We guarantee that. Okay, I got a 1-page document. Let the lawyers quit fussing over this and that. We sent it out, it came back bleeding. We got a 1-page document, C-Spot run. I can understand it. I'll give you a copy. I got copies here on our website. Funding, this is the hard part, okay? We dinked them a little bit. We weren't happy with the fact that they spent money we gave them to sue a Northport business. Okay? Kentucky Nutrition. Now, is Kentucky scared of a coffee shop? Come on. University of Alabama threatened to sue Mary's Bakery because of that script today. And they got such bad publicity, they were smart enough to back off. They said, this is really not good. It's just baiting them for the athletic department, too. I mean, just insane. Okay? But Kathy Logan was here as president for 8 years supporting Kentucky and voting to give them money. They turn around and sue him to change the name because they're so afraid that that coffee shop is going to get confused with the Kentucky Arts Festival. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, we dumped them down to 6 to 8. But I said, look, this has gotten out of hand. There's hard feelings on both sides. There's miscommunication. Let's kiss and make up. Let's make this marriage work. And these people, I think, I've talked to them, I think they're going to be the bigger person, and not only going to give them $75,000 like we did last year, but another 5. We did 75 and 75 in 22 and 23. We gave them an extra 5, really out of 22 money, so we thought we were doing level funding, we've been 75. But Bobby said, you know, we'd like 100,000. I would too. But he said, 80, if you get us to 80, that would be fine. So I've done that. I think they will be, I hope they do it 5-0, $80,000. So they get to throw these people under a bus, drag them through the mud, drag them through Facebook. God bless Facebook for 2 weeks, and they're going to give more money to Kentucky. We want to save this marriage. We're ready to go to the marriage counselor. We're ready to go meet with the preacher. We're ready to have date night. We want it to work. We're going to do everything we can to keep Kentucky Festival here. And if they don't want it, we can't make them stay. But don't throw these people under the bus. Okay? Now, that's
Absolutely. You want to ask Mr. Davis a question?
The question,
Yeah, you can ask Mr. Davis a question. Yes.
oh, okay, I wasn't prepared to ask you. I have serious problems right now, but did they not cut funding to Kentucky?
We did, we cut it from
I think they just aren't appreciating.
Sir?
You know, we're giving millions to sports. We have this great art festival. We have Dickens downtown, and I love that we don't have the disabilities that we seem to have before. I just like to put money in the arts.
Well, and that's what this group is doing. That's what this group is doing.
Excuse me, Mr. Davis, we actually increased our funding this past, October through in-kind services. in
That's right,
addition
we
to-
did more in-kind services. Well, we spend nearly $80,000 a year in in-kind services. Public Works, police, fire aid might do a little bit because they gotta get their liquor license. But we give them a lot of free things. Like I said, they got a free place, it's there, we save it for them. We give them $75,000 to $80,000 of in-kind services, plus we give them now this year, $80,000 of cash. It's a good deal if you want it. If you don't want it, I can't make them take it. I can't make them take it. But yeah, is there fault on both sides? Sure. Well, let's quit. Let's do this. Let's keep Kentucky where it was born. Let's keep it where it was raised. I mean, I'm sorry. I've been out to Kentucky. It's a little bit eclectic for my taste. I got some big pieces at home. But, you know, some of those guys, I just don't see them over at Savings Center, you know? But that's not my decision. It's kind of like a Wayside. I can go get a biscuit and gravy at Hardee's, but it's not the same as eating at the Wayside. And Kentucky's not going to be the same if it's not in Northport.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Davis. With the resolution, as you stated in your presentation, this was a 10-page attorney contract prior. Now it is a one-page resolution. Everything that was brought up to the city of Northport, to Mr. Davis, as was said by Mr. Davis, has been addressed. All of the issues have been taken care of line by line. Elected officials have been made aware of that. Mr. Davis has put together, and staff has put together a one-page resolution, and I'm going to read it just to make sure there's no miscommunication, bad interpretations. It says, this agreement is between the City of Northport, a municipal corporation, and the Kentucky Museum Association Incorporated, an Alabama nonprofit corporation, relating to the 2024 Kentucky Festival of Arts Festival and outside agency funding as follows. Once again, Mr. Davis said 5. We had originally tried to put in 5 years. That was showing goodwill and good faith on our part to show them that we wanted them here. We wanted them to stay here for 5 years, but they turned that around and said they wanted 1 year. So we're doing 1 year, just like they're wanting. This is for the 2024 Kentucky Festival of Arts and outside agency funding as follows. Number 1, the city will continue to make the traditional festival site available to Kentucky in 2024 at no cost, with the same location, same footprint, same tree canopy, same restrooms, same shelters, and all other amenities as the 2023 festival that was just held. Number 2, the city will ensure that the $1.6 million temporary mound of dirt related to the park improvements will remain in the same location with the same footprint as in the 2023 festival. The temporary mound will be stabilized to prevent dust and erosion at least 90 days prior to the 2024 festival. Item 3, the city will continue to provide the same level or more of in-kind support for the 2024 festival as it did in the 2023 festival, which included approximately $77,000 of staffing and equipment from Public Works, IT, police, fire rescue, engineering, administrative, finance, legal, and utilities at no cost to Kentuck. Number 4, the city will provide Kentuck $80,000 in outside agency funding payable in quarterly payments for the 2023-2024 fiscal year for the operation of the Kentuck Arts Center and hosting, conducting, and promoting of the festival pursuant to Code of Alabama, Sections 1147, 16, and 19. Item 5, the city will continue to provide the same level or more of free public parking adjacent to the Kentuck Arts Center throughout 2024 at no cost to Kentuck. Item 6, the city will meet with representatives of Kentuck at a mutually agreed time in the fall of 2024 to discuss a new agreement for the 2025 festival in Kentuck Park. And item 7, Kentuck will hold the festival at its traditional site in Kentuck Park in Northport in 2024. So Mr. Davis talked a lot. This summarized basically everything that he had to say. This is our agreement that has been produced to be voted on tonight by the council. And if passed, this is what we are offering to Kentuck. And as you can see, there isn't nothing changing. We want Kentuck to be here in Northport. They are very important to us. I think they're very important to everyone on the council. They're very important to the citizens of Northport, and they're very important to the overall atmosphere of our city. And we want to remain that. We want to keep a good relationship. But once again, this group does not want to be thrown under the bus, because at no time were we ever trying to kick Kentuck out. We've always wanted them to be here. And by Mr. Davis stating the facts tonight, you can see that this was not a media consultant. This was no lies that were being thrown. These were actual things that he read that you can see in these packets that he has up front that comes from Amy Eccles and her staff in black and white, and talks about them trying to set a narrative. There's no narrative here in Northport. I know a lot of people want to say there's a narrative about everything that we do, but there's not a narrative. We are just trying to continue to make the city better. And yes, some things that we do are going to make people scratch their heads because change is hard. I get it. There's some things in my life that I don't like to change either. I totally understand that. But on this is a one-page, easy-to-understand agreement. And we want to keep that marriage, and we want to keep Kentuck in Northport. So with that said, based on what I just read here, the agreement between Northport and Kentuck for the 2024 festival and funding, I am putting into motion that this be approved by council to send to Kentuck and to allow the city administrator to execute this agreement. And that's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I need to say one thing as well.
Okay.
I mean, it was said that a few council members did not want Kentuck here. I'm going on the record just to say District 2 Council Member Woodrow Washington does want Kentuck here. At no point have I not want Kentuck here. So I just want to go on the record and say that. And if they was preferred to me, that is not true. Thank you.
I will also go on record to say that as well.
I will as well.
All right. That is a motion by myself. That is a second by Councilwoman Bobo in regards to this agreement between Northport and Kentuck for the 2024 festival and funding. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Voting with Pro Tem Bobo?
Yes.
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 Yes. Mr. Davis, that is a 5-0 vote. I think that speaks volumes of where Northport is in regards to Kentuck. Okay. Item 14 is mayor and council members' business. We will start with Mayor Hinton.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to say that I hope our community will support the holiday open house. Ms. Webb and the staff have worked extremely hard. You will not recognize City Hall when you go there. It's beautiful. And the children will enjoy it, adults will enjoy it. 5 to 8 Thursday night. So I hope we have a tremendous number of people come. And we encourage you to invite your neighbors as well. And one other thing with the actions by the council tonight, the discussions that have gone on, and all, I just hope the discord in our community will stop, that we can unify together and all support the 3 recreational parks that will boost our city in great measure. One private company had suggested that we may have as many as 1.2 million people coming in for the sports complex. Brings a lot of money into the city, be a tremendous help, and then we have the other parks to be developed as well. So we just need to pull together as a council, as a community, and get behind the programs that are here that will do only one thing, and that is boost our city. And that's all we want. So please work with us on that. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Hinton. We will start next with District 1, Pro Tem Bobo.
Since we're at the end of the year, I'd just like to say thank you to our staff. You guys are rocking it, doing so many things for us. Thank you to our finance director for making sure that we get those extra reserves put in there so that we maintain that credit rating that we have that's funding some of these projects. Thank you to Savannah for all the grants that she finds, our city administrator. And you guys, we have excellent department heads, and everyone pitches in to help whenever anything is needed outside of their scope of work. Nobody says that's not my job, and we're all very appreciative of it. Also want to ask if you have time while you're out and about, anytime before, I think we said before Thursday, we're collecting Toys for Tots here at the police station, at City Hall, and at each fire station as well. So if you have time to drop it off, if you don't have time to drop it off, call one of us. I'm sure any of us would come pick it up from you to help a child in our community.
I think Mr. Davis helped plenty of children tonight
Yes,
with his donations.
holding you to that one.
I will do it gladly.
District 2, Councilman Washington.
I'd like to thank city staff for sure. It's been a good year, tough year. At the end of the year, it's always good to reflect. Everybody who's been around, y'all know it's the holidays, so love on your folks. There's a lot of folks didn't wake up this morning. A lot of folks ain't here today, so love on your folks. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy this week. Enjoy this night. And hope to see everybody back next year as well as myself. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. District 3, Councilman Wiggins.
I just want to say that I want to head off any controversy that might be generated by me not being there Thursday night for the open house. I know it's going to be a fantastic event, but we're going to be going out of town to help my daughter move back to Alabama, so I'll be unavailable Thursday. But I've seen all the plans in motion, and it's spectacular. There's a lot of stuff going on there, so hope the community will be out for that. That's all I
Okay. And District 4, Councilwoman Dykes.
I just would like to encourage people to come to the open house. Staff has done a great job. And to echo what Ms. Bobo said about the Toys for Tots, until Wednesday.
Till Wednesday. Okay. I don't have anything specific for District 5, but I do think it's been well known that I was definitely for looking at the RFPs for the community center property and to see what that could generate, what it could do. The developer that it was assigned to came back and said they were still working, The due diligence period, I know, has just recently ended, and they're very close on a lot of different items that we could have in Northport. Councilwoman Bobo and I talked as part of the retail committee, and some of those items could be placed elsewhere. There are some items that I think would be very unique to that specific piece of property and what they're trying to do, but Councilwoman Bobo has suggested that Beaker Property Group continue their efforts, but not at that property, but to look elsewhere. And while that was not their original first choice, they understand the need of the community. They understand the passion of our citizens. They understand that the council's wishes are to grow our tax revenue and our tax base, and also to bring in new business. But collectively, I think we all want what's best as a community, and as Dr. Hinton alluded to, to stop the discord and to, it's Christmas time, and as Councilman Washington said, we should all just be thankful for what we have and what we do, and we would be better together than everyone being on the opposite sides. And maybe sometime if we would start listening more, and that includes myself, than everyone speaking, if everyone would listen to each other, even though you might have a different way of doing things or a different feel on what you want to see or what you want to do, maybe if you just listen and kind of try to understand the other person instead of throwing stones, and that goes for all of us. And that goes for myself as well, and I will be a better person for that moving forward. So, and I expect the same in return. Anyway, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a very wonderful holiday with your loved ones and your families. And please, as everyone else has alluded to, please come to the holiday open house to start your enjoyment of the festivities of Christmas time. And with that being said, item 15 is adjournment. I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bobo. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Thank you for coming, and Merry Christmas.